Alright guys, welcome back. Blake here. Today we're going to be doing Minecraft again. Um, redstone. Okay, this is a very, very interesting block type. It's... some people hate it, some people love it. It's very... It's difficult to understand. By the way, guys, we're not in my normal test world. I don't think you'll ever see it, because there's a lot of embarrassing mess-ups that most people shouldn't have to make in there. But this is a test world I created. Not really. It's going to be my redstone tutorial world. You guys are going to get redstone tutorials from me. I'm not a genius at redstone, but I'm going to take it super, super duper slow for you guys. I'm going to go over all the basics. I'm going to give you I'm not going to teach you to build those awesome computers that exist in Minecraft. I'm going to get you to the point to where you can understand the basic logic of it. And then you can take that from there and be like, okay, now that I know this, what can I make? What can I do? Alright, this is the ore. If you're in survival, this is what you're looking for. If you start out and you find this stuff, you need an iron tool or better. Iron, gold, diamond. Those are your options. Can't use wood, can't use cobble. And this is what you have to use. There's lots of cool things. If you're first starting out and you're doing some mining, looking for diamonds, gold, whatever, and you're like, I don't need redstone. Even if you understand redstone, go for it. Just mine it. Put it in a chest. It's a good source of XP. You'll find redstone ore between the levels of 1 and 19, usually in veins of 2 to 6 blocks. Is what the wiki says. That sounds about right to me. It's a really unique ore. If you go into your creative menu, almost all redstone related items are here. I say that, but you need redstone to run these. Well, that produces redstone, but I think you can activate with it. None of these are anything to do with redstone, except for hoppers. They kind of, and I guess TNT does. But the rest of these require redstone too. So I'm going to be giving you the basics. So this is the redstone ore. When you break it, you will get redstone dust, which can be placed in a fashion of making this. You might be wondering what this is. This is like wire. Pretend like redstone is wires in your day-to-day. So you break this, you get a couple of these sand. Or they're dust. Redstone, I guess they're dust more, I would say. So you take it, and then you can power things with it. When I say power, I don't mean normal power. Like, what's a good way to start? Okay, let's say you want some TNT. You're a noob. We're not even just a noob. You come over here. And you're like, this is your friend's base. And you're like, alright, I'll show him what's up. But you don't want to be near it, so you do that. So then you can just immediately walk away from it. And then boom. You just blew a giant chunk of their base. That actually isn't normal. It's just because this is sandstone that TNT did so much damage. But you get the basics of it. It can be used to power all the items that it directly it affects, I believe, are TNT, piston, sticky piston, note block, dispenser, dropper. It directly affects hoppers, doors, repeaters, and comparators. It also directly affects this, the activator, detector, and powered rail. It all has an immediate effect on that. Now, if you are just starting out Minecraft, this is not redstone directly related, but it is in a way because it does affect redstone later on. So let's just say this is your house. I'm just going to make it real quick like that. Beautiful. Got a little temple house. Alright, so you go into redstone. Door. Now, if you can even just do that. That will open a door. Alright, but let's say you don't want to do that. Lever. This produces a redstone pulse. A pulse is, here's your redstone. That it is inert. It doesn't do anything. Watch. Plants all the TNT you want around it. Okay? Not going to affect it. A pulse, this is pulsed. Redstone can travel a certain number of, it can only travel a certain distance, and you can tell right when it gets out. See? Right there. No more. Now, if you want it to go farther, and you don't want to have to add like a torch, let's say, well, because that just not, it wouldn't make sense, because if you wanted to turn it off, you put a repeater down, facing in the right direction. Pretend like that's an arrow. You see that right there, how it like works its way? Pretend that's an arrow, and that will boost the signal just like it's coming from the start. So if it's on the last bit of its life, like it was there, so long as this gets power, like if you moved it up one more. Oh, I was wrong where I put it. I'm sorry. If you were to put it right, see how it's at the end of its life there? Sorry. It's not going to come through. It has to have just a little bit left in. That was a big fail on my part. I didn't know. I didn't count how far it was. But if it's on its last leg, it will still come through, and it'll be like a whole new strength when it comes out. It doesn't carry over its strength. So that's cool. That's the basics there. But this can also, levers produce the same, a redstone pulse, a button, both kinds of buttons can produce a pulse. Big difference between wood and the normal button is a normal button you have to press, right? Where a wood one, if you shoot it with an arrow, it will go. So you could even set a dispenser trap to set it off. We'll get more into dispensers. But buttons, and also this is one of the new updates. It's a redstone. It's solid redstone block. This does the same signal strength as any other thing, but it's very unique because before there was no way to directly interface with moving or turning them off and on using pistons. But now you can. You can have a piston, which we'll get into much more detail on probably the next episode. But if you apply signal to this, you apply signal, you can turn it on. And of course, I didn't put a sticky piston. Well, see, there's a difference between pistons and sticky pistons. Pistons will just move. Sticky pistons can pull, and also pistons can break most blocks, like break blocks. But if back to the door, if you want to just have a door, pop it open. Just let somebody in, come on in. A lever, good. You can just leave it open. You don't have to worry about making it in at the, turn the daytime back. But also, that leaves a problem. If you leave that done, you can't do anything. Now, if that's like that, and you come in on the other side and you do this side will not work, because this one's receiving direct power from this. So that was up because this was left down in power position. Alright, so that's the door. Redstone can travel through, that's a little advanced. Maybe we might not go there yet. Tripwires can also produce power. They're for traps systems. Like that, and then you put, where is it, string. You can barely see it. You hook them up. Alright, you see how they're attached? Now they're hooked. And that gives off a signal. I'll show you just real quick, like that. See? So you could set a trap in your base if you just had these covered up. Like, I realize that's not covered up, but you can get innovative with it. You can also... Jeez, I am just being retarded right now. Sorry. You can also do this with them. If you just make it look like it's a doorway, you can do it. You can't place them directly up. Like, So if you're thinking I'll make like a cross hanging with them, you can't place them on the bottom of a block on the tops either. It's only on sides so far. You never know. Minecraft's constantly being updated. So those can also do a pulse. So if you set these up and then a dispenser at the end filled with arrows, you could just pelt somebody with arrows or gas balls or whatever whatever you see fit. Lamps. When turned on, they put out a really nice light. I like it. Interesting thing about that is one of the few good circles you can ever see in Minecraft. I don't know if you can see it. That also makes like a pie kind of chart. But it makes the same noise as breaking ice, which is very satisfying. Doors, like I said, interface with... that's not what I meant to do. These can also be opened. Difference between iron and wooden doors. Besides one's made out of wood and one's made out of iron. Iron is harder to break, so if somebody's chasing you and you lock the door behind you, it's going to take them longer to go through it. But unless it's made out of obsidian, it's quicker just to go through the wall, usually. So that's, zombies break down wooden doors, so if you're inside hiding, they can break down your door. Now, if you don't have the money for an iron door, you can do this. That's the thing. But zombies cannot break that. And if you have a good path, you can shoot arrows out. Skeletons can also shoot zombies, or skeletons can also shoot arrows in. So that's something you have to keep in mind with that. I personally use these doors a lot. So, this is one of the basics of... This is a good place to start. Next episode, we will probably be discussing... well, let's just talk about the pressure plates now, too. Each one of these pressure plates is different, but they both do the same thing in a sense. You step on this, produces power. You step on this, it produces power. Big difference. I just turned it on by throwing a block. That is a huge thing. It's a game changer because that's what separates them. You can throw whatever you want onto this thing. It's not going to activate. It's like this is like a weighted one where this one's weak. It doesn't require as much to set it off. So, either way, mobs can set these off by stepping on them. So if you just do this with your door, to get in and out, which a lot of people do. It's a good way. It's a good solid system to work everything off of. But a creature walks up to come get you, and it just opened the door for itself. So that's one bad thing. You're probably seeing this interface here, and you see that. Do not worry. This is a redstone torch. You're probably wondering why it's not on. I will just for the sake of showing you, as soon as there's an update to its position, it will reactivate. I will get into later why there is a deactivated torch when we talk about needing to get redstone up quickly. When I mean up, I mean like... In a way, this does work, right? And then you just go, oh, I'm going to put my pressure plate here, and it will activate, and it will travel up, and it will be good. But if you needed to go up really high distances, there's a much easier way to do it, and cheaper way with just using redstone torches, which we will get into probably on our third episode. The second episode, we're going to simply discuss pistons and note blocks. That's all the next episode's going to be. Pistons, note blocks, and let's say TNT, because that's TNT we've pretty much already covered. These are also pressure plates, but these if you use these in your normal survival gameplay, I'd be interested for you to send me a video of how you would use them. I haven't found a way to use them yet. They're not really incredibly useful. They're good if you're making like a map like Herobrine's Mansion, kind of things like that, but they're not incredibly useful in my opinion. But this was Redstone Tutorial Episode 1. If you felt I missed anything very drastic, like I said, this is for the most basic noob. If you know a lot about Redstone, I don't suggest watching this channel. When I mean channel, I mean like this specific series, because this series is all going to be about noob stuff for you. Although probably in about the 5th episode, I would start watching again, because that's when I'm going to start talking about the logic of it and really implementing good redstone tech into your day-to-day playthroughs and your let's plays or whatever. Not really that, but just the fact of using it in like your server, or your just normal Minecraft playing by yourself fun. Maybe after this I will start a series on Red Power, which is a mod that just drops a giant. It's incredible. Like, just a quick, don't get confused. Do not worry about this at all. I'm just going to show you something real basic here, right quick. Okay. You see this? This is a very basic redstone clock. Alright, you see how it's working? And of course I can't do it quick enough. Alright, see how it's constantly feeding itself power. Okay. Alright, let's try it again. Alright guys, welcome back. Sorry, I had to relog. There are some issues there. Okay, this is a very basic clock. See how fast that's pulsing? It's because they're constantly jumping between each other. Oh, see? And I hit the switch, which caused a delay, which made it be able to stay on, because how it works is this is almost instantaneous travel, right? Instantaneous travel. But if you delay, which these we'll talk about later, we'll devote one whole probably episode to delays on repeaters. That delays it, so that means the pulse comes out longer, which means it has more time to come back around and do that, right? Okay. But that is a basic redstone clock. I mean, now if you... I'm going to have to stop recording here for a second and see. I'm going to have to get it working just right, I believe, to show you this, but this is a good example. Alright, I have it working good, I think. Okay. Alright, that's ridiculously fast, right? Okay. As you know, Minecraft works in chunks. Once something becomes out of a loaded chunk, which I'm going to have to go really... It's because of my render distance. Let's just turn that down. No need to play on far. Just put on normal. Okay, you see how you can't really see it anymore? You know it's fluctuating, but you can't see anything. So I'm sitting way out here. Okay, I'm out of the chunk. Let's just go a little bit farther. Alright, it's completely de-rendered. Now, we're going to head back. I'll set my render distance back to far. Okay, now, these clocks, there's one flaw with them, which is weird, is it happens and sometimes it doesn't happen, is when you leave a chunk, these can freeze. They can like lock on. Maybe if I accidentally log. Let's try that. That might get it to work. Single player? I didn't actually name it. That would have been a good idea to name it. Oh well. We'll know what it is. I think you might be able to edit something's name. Oh, fantastic. It kept working. Okay, guys. So let's pretend like it always works. But these things have the ability to freeze. We'll get into good clocks in a bit, and that'll probably be one of the episodes. We'll devote time to a really good clock. I'm not going to show any MC edit for redstone stuff, because that's not something normal people put, or if you want to build this into your server, like you're on a server, stuff like that, this won't work out well for you. Alright guys, that's where I'm going to leave off the episode. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything you would like me to talk about? I think the next episode, like I said, is going to be no blocks, pistons, both pistons, TNT, and I'm going to just give you the basics of the real difference between them. Explain why sticky pistons are more expensive, besides they're sticky, what makes them sticky, and just the difference in using them. If you can't get slime balls to make them sticky, what you have to do to get them to work. Alright, this is Blake, signing off. You guys have a nice day. Bye-bye.